Hi everybody, welcome back to the Celtic Way. It's Saturday. It's not 3 o'clock yet, but it's nearly 3 o'clock. It's match day. It's Celtic versus Dundee United. Live team news reaction and build up with myself, Tony Haggerty at A Haggerty 10, and Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley, and he's live from Glasgow somewhere just outside Parkhead. Ryan, how are you, sir?
Things are good. Yeah, Saturday at 3 o'clock kickoff. Not had one of those in a while. I can't remember the last time we had a Saturday at 3 o'clock due to European adventures and cup games played at 5:30. Had a lot of home games recently, but not a lot of home games at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So delighted to get back to the time that we all know and love. Saturday at 3 o'clock. Traditionalist, absolutely delighted, and I'm happy with that team.
Indeed. Now you can run through the team for us, Ryan.
I will do. It's a very rotated side, although there's a couple of starters in there that you would expect. You get Kasper Schmeichel in goals, a back four of Anthony Ralston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty and Jeffrey Schlupp making his first start for Celtic. In the midfield, you get Callum McGregor, Luke McCowan and Rio Hatate. Up front, you've got Adam Idah, joined on the left by Jota and on the right, Hyun-Jung Yang. Have you got the subs there, Tony?
I have indeed. The subs are Sinazalo, Johnston, Taylor, Scales, Kuhn, Kenny, Engels, Maeda and Murray. Strong team, Ryan. You happy with that team?
Very happy. Yeah, that subs bench looks just like some of the players that you would see in the starting 11. You know, you look like Maeda, Celtic's best player at the moment, Arne Engels, even Dane Murray, who's had experience in the first team recently. He's a guy that you can depend upon and a guy that's got a bright future, according to Brendan Rodgers. But I like seeing these rotated changes with Tuesday in mind, although it's going to be a difficult game against a good side in Dundee United. I think there's enough rotation there to keep the squad fresh while still maintaining that quality. I think players have been rewarded for some of their cameo appearances. The likes of Yang probably deserves to be in the starting lineup. I said it on Wednesday. I thought his cameo against Bayern Munich was brilliant. If he can do that against the likes of Dundee United and etc. as well as in Europe, because he did it against Leipzig when he came on. If he can do that, then there's definitely a future for him at Celtic if he keeps on improving. But we need to see that consistency today. But delighted with some of the other changes in the team, such as Jeffrey Schlupp making his first start for Celtic, Luke McCowan coming back into the team, Rio Hatate retaining his place, and of course Jota in that starting lineup. There's players there that you can rely upon, and I think those rotational options are good. And if it isn't working, you've got the starters to bring off the bench.
The manager spoke about Yang yesterday and spoke about him at length because he was asked about him. He's certainly persevering with him, Ryan. He clearly sees a player there. We've spoken about it before. He's clearly impressing the manager at training, and he's given him every chance to succeed as a Celtic player. So another opportunity to cash in on the fact that he had a really good game against Raith Rovers, scored a lovely goal, and then came on and showed a lot of impetus when he came on against Bayern Munich, and I think Celtic got a lift from him and the other substitute coming on at that time, and also Jeffrey Schlupp as well. He showed he was no slouch, and I'm liking the fact that he's there. Interesting to see him get his first start. Looking forward to watching him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a guy that we know all about with his experience playing for Leicester and Crystal Palace. It's not as if you're bringing in some unknown. You're not sure how he's going to compete. You know that he's going to bring that Premier League quality that Celtic have needed on that left side. It's a bit of a stopgap at the moment until Kieran Tierney comes back in. Obviously, you've got Greg Taylor, who looks as if he'll be moving on to pastures new in the summer. But he's not a bad player to bring in at this time. I think Celtic were in for him in the summer. That didn't really materialise, and Celtic brought in Alex Bailly instead. He went to Como. That opened up the opportunity for Schlupp to come in and get game time. Maybe get a couple of trophies to his name as well. He'd be desperate to get a couple more trophies to add to that trophy cabinet. He's not been getting them at Crystal Palace recently. Last time I think he won a trophy was probably the Premier League at Leicester. So he'll be looking for another couple of them for his medal collection and trophy cabinet. So you know what he's going to do. You know what he can bring to the team. He brings that experience, he brings that pace, that drive, that strength and physicality. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him today. Hopefully he puts in a good performance. And for me, he's playing for a contract at the end of the season. I think that's his big motive. That's his big, his motivating factor. So with that, you should probably see a player that's motivated to do well for Celtic because it's a big move for him.
Now,
Adam, for him to get.
Yeah. Adam Idah starts up front today, Ryan. That says to me that he's probably going to go Maeda through the middle on Tuesday night. Just my thinking behind that, but I would like to hope that he does. But yeah, delighted for Adam Idah because I want to see him get regular game time, and I want to see him continue to score goals. And also I think he's the manager spoke about it as well, that he'd kind of flogged Dijsselmaijde in the past few games, so maybe a well-earned rest. But hopefully Celtic can pick up from where they left off against Raith Rovers, even with that side. And I'm happy with that. I think that's a really strong side. I think that's a strong team that can go out and get a result, Ryan.
Yeah, the players that have been brought in, you can rely upon them to bring a performance. The likes of Tony Ralston, who I thought was great against Raith Rovers, particularly for that cross to Yang in the second half. It was a great finish, but it was a great cross from Tony Ralston. He's never going to let you down. Schlupp's never going to let you down. You get those two defenders as well. I'm delighted to see, even though there has been rotation, there's still that importance in the team because Trusty and Carter Vickers are both starting. That's your main back line, or the main two centre backs in your back line. He could have easily put in Scales today, but I think that shows that partnership is grown between the two players, and he wants to keep them ticking, because there's been games in which Cameron Carter-Vickers has missed out due to injury, and I think there's no better time to strengthen that relationship between the two than in league games today at home. They can really understand each other more and more. I hardly ever want to see that back line changed in terms of those two. Those are the two that I want to see from now until the end of the season. It's what the best part of 13, 14 million for the two of them combined in transfer fees. That's the front or the back two that I want to see every single game.
That team to me says that there's a job to be done here, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Not taking Dundee United too lightly. They're focused on a job at hand. There's a league to be won here. They're 8 wins away from winning the title. This is the first of 8 in that kind of home straight, call it what you like, home stretch. But that's a strong team for me that says we're going to be clinical and professional, get the job done and tick them off as we go along. First one being Dundee United today. So I'm very happy about that. And again, that chance to apply that scoreboard pressure before Rangers go to Tynecastle tomorrow. Go 16 ahead, take that opportunity, grasp that, and and see what happens tomorrow. Control what you can control, as we say, always control the controllables.
Control the controllables, play your own game. For what it's worth, I think Rangers will drop points tomorrow against Hearts, just the way that the two teams are playing at the moment. I've called it before and it's happened, so I do expect Rangers to be in a tough game against a revitalised Hearts side, albeit they didn't play that well against St Mirren the day before or in the game before, but they got through on penalties. It's all about putting that scoreboard pressure on. Rangers have not been able to handle it whatsoever when Celtic have put points on the board. They seem to crumble when Celtic put points on the board, and they find it difficult to respond to what Celtic can do. It's all about Celtic. I think they're in a bit of an unassailable lead at the moment at the top of the table. It's all about getting that league done as soon as possible for Celtic. I'm confident in this team. Whenever I see, regardless of what lineup comes out, I'm confident that this team can go and do the job. Yeah. They had that bit of a mini blip, the drop points to Dundee, the Ibrox result. I feel like they're now back on track. That Raith Rovers game came at the right time for Celtic to get some goals. They've been scoring goals. They've not really been conceding too many goals. They only conceded 2 against Bayern Munich, and they finished the better team against one of the best sides in the world. There's got to be confidence that's sprung from that. And I'm just expecting goals today. They've got the Dundee specialist in the middle of the park, and Luke McCown, who seems to always come in for games against either Dundee or Dundee United. He understands the geography. He knows what's required. Yeah. But you trust him to come in and bring in a good performance, and he'll be delighted that he's trusted to do that job, to come into the team whenever required. Yes, he didn't come off the bench against Bayern Munich, but he's one of the first names on the team sheet today. And that's a great role for him to be in. He's in the team with a view to maybe making a point and saying, I should be starting those Champions League games.
Manager stressed the fact that down this stretch, Ryan, every squad player will be needed. Every player in that squad, and I include Dane Murray and the likes of that as well. So good to see him on the bench, and Johnny Kenny as well. I think lots of Celtic supporters will want to see a wee bit more of Johnny Kenny if they can. But yep, every player will be utilised in this clutch of games coming up, and everybody will be delighted to see that. Get your score predictions coming in, guys. Myself and Ryan will give ours at the end. But thanks to over 450 people joining us live, Ryan, before the game. Excellent stuff. We appreciate it, guys. So, yeah, get your thoughts coming in terms of the score. Got a few coming in here, Ryan. Now, you might not remember this, Ryan, but Brown Warrior, Saturday is Tiswas Day. Chris Tarrant presented it. Yeah, you remember that? There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's an old reference there. 4-0, says Thomas McBrearty. 4-0 Thomas Burns' famous name, 3-0 Celtic. He's saying, right, all the scoreline predictions coming in are Celtic wins. Slip is solid, says Stockroom Tim. Yep, we certainly think that. We'll get a better indication of that today. The Bagels production says, I like the starting 11. Slip and Jota need game time. They most certainly do. Sean Rand saying 3-1. Sorry, Ryan.
Sorry, we've hardly even spoken about the main attraction today, let's be honest. I think a lot of people travelling to Celtic Park today want to see a bit more of Jota. You know, this is a couple of weeks training now for him, and I think we'll start to see that physicality come from, because I think he looks a little bit thin at the moment, kind of akin to what Kuhn looked like when he came to Celtic the first time. But I think the fact that there's that, you know, that expectancy, and the fact that we know what to expect from Jota when he is fit and firing, I think the people are giving him that little bit more patience and time to get settled in. But, you know, in his 2 appearances domestically so far, he's got a goal and he's got an assist in his 2 appearances. So he's doing really well at the moment. I expect him to come out the traps and really put on a show against Dundee United. It's a team that he knows all about. He's scored goals against Dundee United before.
Even when people, he's had moments against Dundee United, big moments as well. Also, he had a wonderful header at Tannadice, where I still don't know how it went in. One time when it was very Larson-like against Porto. As well. Yeah, very Larson-like against Porto. We put it in for kind of a possible angle. Yeah, great goal. But also when he came back, I was always of the opinion, people saying, "Oh, you'll need to get up to speed. You'll need to be fine. Get fit." I thought his adrenaline was carrying him through, and his ability and talent. You just don't lose that. He is a footballer, and I mean, one of the first things he did when he came back and he played at Celtic Park was pull a high ball out of the air. And then the next thing he did was pulled another high ball out of the air and did the pirouette and the pass. And you're thinking, okay, right, that's good. We like that. And then he obviously got his goal at Motherwell. And, so he's just back where he's loved, Ryan. He's loving it. He's fell in love with football again. The Celtic supporters have fallen in love with him all over again. And as you say, lots of people will be interested to see how he gets on today. And I can't wait to see him just, put on a bit of style again today. That's what I'm hoping.
He is the P.T. Barnum of Celtic. He is the greatest showman. He'll put on a show for Celtic. That's what you hope, anyway, going into this game. Whenever he gets the ball, when you feel it when you're at Celtic Park, especially, whenever he's on the ball, you can hear that sort of gasp of excitement and a bit of a roar when he's on the ball, because when he's, I mean, everybody's singing the song already. It seems like wherever you go with regard to Celtic, everybody's singing Jota on the wing. Even down in Birmingham, there was people singing Jota on the wing. He wasn't even registered to play in that game. That's the effect that he's had already. And I think this partnership between himself and Brendan Rodgers is going to be so fruitful. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores a couple today and really puts on a show. But I want to see Yang feeling the confidence of Wednesday night and bringing that into a Saturday afternoon performance. If he can do that, then I think there's more than a place for him at Celtic, because you need that cover. Maeda's going to be playing through the middle, and you need another wide player. Still get Forrest coming back. Good news from Rodgers saying that he's now back on the pitch for the first time, and he's getting ready to return. It was quite funny, his comments saying he's always back in March to deliver in the big moments, big game player. But Yang can definitely be one of those players as well. And I'm delighted to see that he had that good performance against Bayern Munich to go with the one against Raith Rovers. But I want to see him consolidate it today with another good one.
We need that consistency, Ryan, and that's what will push him into the first team and become a regular. Anthony Brogan saying, good afternoon, Ryan and Tony. 3-0 Celtic. You can't wait to watch the game. Excellent. I think we're all the same. Francis Lester, regular contributor. How you doing, Francis? Another good performance. A few goals will go down well. He's saying 3-0 to Celtic. Scotland Sun, right out the bat, 6 or 7-0. He's saying today. Listen, Ryan,
it was 9-0 a couple of seasons ago.
Tony McVeigh says 3-1. Exactly. So that's why I didn't look at that and think it's not possible. 4-0 says Hazel Finn, another regular contributor. How you doing, Hazel? Good afternoon to you. John Milan saying 3-0. Typhoon McFlustery saying 4-1. David Ferguson saying 3-0. Mark Fairfield saying another 6 goals. I'm assuming he's meaning 6-0. Wilson QW saying 5-0. And AR saying 3-0 Celtic. And then Michael Cairn saying 4-0. And Corey J95 2-1 Celtic. Yankees score all 3. And John Paul second saying 3-0 to Celtic. Lots of predictions are Ryan, but all of them unsurprisingly going for a Celtic win. My ball 2-0, and Brian McGarry is saying 3-0. Jota, Ida, and McCowan. He's saying so. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to just give him a prediction quickly. I'm going to say 4-0 Celtic, and I predict that Jota and McCowan will both score in this game. I think the two of them are dangerous. Ida will probably get a goal as well. It doesn't matter who scores as long as Celtic get the 3 points and just continue to apply that scoreboard pressure. But yeah, I think there's goals all over this team for Celtic today. I think they'll be fine. I think this rotation will help them, and then they can bring the cavalry off the bench and the likes of Engels, Maeda, I would bring him on only in an emergency, to be honest, because he needs to be wrapped in cotton wool.
I usually go 1 up or 1 down. I'll go 1 up, Ryan. I'll say 5-0. We'll see what happens, but I agree with you. There's goals all over this team. Whatever you're watching, guys, enjoy. We'll reconvene as quick as we can after the final whistle. Look out for the player ratings from Ryan, the instant analysis from myself, and also the Q&As from Brendan Rodgers and maybe the players whoever put up to speak to the media. But take care, guys. Here's hoping Celtic reel off another victory and make it 7 wins till they clinch the title, Ryan. But first things first, Celtic Dundee United. Enjoy, Ryan. Take care. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, guys.